interview. Sarah? Sarah, there's a crowd coming in to support you guys. But before we talk about the crowd, tell us how have Rwanda prepared for this do-or-die semi-final?
We are ready for this game. It's a very tight game. Yesterday we lost against the same team we are going to play today. So we are going to put more effort today. So we have this game.
Tell me, you're going to be bowling first. How many runs do you think you should restrict Kenya to be able to win this semi-final?
We want them to score below 100.
100, you say? Tell me, who are these people on your team? The changes, the new faces, or it's the same team that played yesterday that will restrict Kenya to 100?
According to yesterday's team list, Alice came in and Flora rested.
Thank you, and good luck in your game. Margaret Banja, another toss, another win from the toss. Should we expect another win in the match?
Oh yes, because my butters are on top.
This surface, what do you make of it as an experienced player?
Wicket, 130, 140, good score.
Any changes in the list? Give us the team news.
No, there is no change.
You had it all, no change from Kenya. The team that played Rwanda yesterday will be playing again today. We will be having the anthems in 10 minutes. Don't move an inch, and tell a friend to tell a friend and another friend to come and watch the big one. Second semi-final, Rwanda versus Kenya. DJ, take it away.
Onto an off field. We recently in Pakistan, against Pakistan, we had a table tennis tournament, and I came out as the winner. So I think that was really special in the bio bubble, and we can't do too much. So our trainer put up a whole schedule for us to have a full-on table tennis tournament, and I came out on top. So I was pretty tough with that. Well, that's a tough one, but I think I'll have to go with a tennis player, Serena Williams. Definitely me. No, I'm joking. No, she's a pretty strong girl. I think she might. I think her bicep is a little bit bigger than mine, so I'm going to say Lazali will win that one. Let me go with, I was thinking while studying, I've got an honors degree in marketing, but I think I picked that because it was something that I could do with sport, but I probably think I would have become a medical rep if it was not for cricket, because that's something that you're on the road quite often. I enjoy the medical side of things, but I'm not good with blood. So I thought it's a clean medical field. So being still involved with medicine, but maybe just working and just being a sales representative. Be ecstatic. I think he's such a skillful cricketer. Everybody calls him Mr. 360. So if I could have one day and be that fantastic, I would take that any day. I'm gonna say Marizon Cup. I think she's a very skillful bowler, and I know she's really always in the nets. She's thinking about her bowling and really making it hard, and you're not always sure what she's going to bowl, because she can swing the ball away, bring it back in. She's got some really good slower balls, and then she's worked on the odd bounces, so it's not knowing what to expect. And she's a very clever bowler, so I think she's one of the hardest bowlers to bat against. Ooh, I'm gonna go with a cannelloni. I think my husband really enjoys cannelloni, so I think that's the dish I'm gonna say out loud. I would have to go West Indies. I love tropical islands, and crystal clear blue waters is definitely for me. So I really enjoy traveling to the Caribbean. Oh, that's a challenging one. But I'm going to go with the queen we had before. I'll go with AB de Villiers. I think the best advice that I've been given is if your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. And the second one is to use your stumbling blocks as stepping stones.
Yeah, similar to Tash's thoughts. I think I really was able to kind of enjoy playing in New Zealand and not have too much on my mind to think about the future, because I know that either way there's going to be good quality cricket wherever you go and training wherever you go. And looking forward to the summer. There's obviously a lot of international cricket that's going on, but you know, if you don't make those squads, there's Hey-Ho Flint Trophy, there's a T20 Trophy to come back to and play a big role, which is obviously going to be a really good standard and play with a really good team as well. So I think it definitely takes a lot of pressure off and gives a different and new opportunity, which I'll be looking forward to. I took a lot from it, and yeah, like I said before, I was just able to kind of go out and enjoy kind of playing and being on the pitch with the girls and not have too much else in my mind. I think obviously the batting lineup in England at the minute is you know, the top 5-6 is full of world-class players, so it's very hard lineup to get into. And I think for me, I'm kind of trying to think of it as kind of like it's like a marathon, not a sprint, I guess. I'm, you know, fully confident in my ability, and if I do well, and hopefully I get an opportunity, and if not, then you know, I try my best to get back in, but it's not the be all and end all just now. But yeah, I'll do everything I can to really break into that squad, and love to break into the ODI squad at some point in the near future. But I think for me, it's just taking each game as it comes and just trying to win each game, the stars really, and not think too much about the future in England selection. Just try and focus on the here and now and get a few games, get a few wins under the belt for the stars and get off to a good start. And yeah, and enjoy playing with the girls. They've had a really good winter, and it's been really fun to come back and join them this week. And I'm sure the next few weeks are also going to have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun on the pitch too.
first semi-final. Namibia beating Nigeria by 91 runs. Very entertaining game we just had on cards. Perfect weather, perfect day to get the second semi-final started. But let's do observe a moment of silence for the fallen victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. May their souls rest in eternal peace. The umpires that will be standing in today, there is Mr. Vicky Prajapati from Rwanda. There's Olivier Ntangishaka from Rwanda. And the reserve umpire will be Jackson Zaisenga from Rwanda as well. Semi-final, like I said, it's Kenya versus Rwanda. Kenya being the home team in the semi-final because they finished ahead of Rwanda at the points table. We will start with the Rwanda anthem.
So only if at all you use the Zoom thing.
Moving on to the Kenyan national anthem.
Tujenge taifa letu, wajibu wetu. Kenya istahili heshima, tuungane mikono pamoja kazini, kila siku tuwe na shukrani.
Well done to both anthems and both teams. Please, Margaret Banja, say hi to Vicky with your teammates. Say hi to Jackson and say hi to Olivier. And as well, say hi to Sarah and her teammates. Welcome them to Gahanga and tell them it's going to be a very interesting semi-final. Share the love. It's an East African derby. Kenya versus Rwanda. This is the game that your mother told you about. You either go big or go home. If you lose here, you'll only be playing for bread bread crumbles and leftovers. Quick team photos. Let's do the team photos already.
You make my heart beat till like say boom boom. Next time you're gonna take you to bloom bloom.
Hello and welcome to Women's Cricket Zone's coverage of the Kwibuka T20 Tournament. This is the big day, big game. We are in the penultimate day of the competition. This is the last game on the penultimate day, the second semi-final. We have Kenya and Rwanda who will face off. We earlier saw the first semi-final where Nigeria and Namibia contested. Namibia posted 156 for 2. Nigeria were never in the game, and there was a 91-run win for Namibia, and they are our first finalists. Nigeria, though, have another game to play. They'll play the third place payoff tomorrow morning, and joining them would be one of these two sides today. We have another repeat. Last league game, the second last league game was between Rwanda and Kenya yesterday. Kenya managing a 25-run win, and here we are for the second semi-final, Kenya versus Rwanda. Kenya have won the toss and have chosen to bat first. The conditions seem to be pretty good for batting. We saw that with Namibia, but once you saw Nigeria bat, you probably might not say so, because they crawled their way to 65 for 8. But it's a really good surface. If you ask me, the outfield's pretty quick. You get value for your shots. Just a bit of power needed. But here we are, second semi-final, live to you from the Gahanga International Cricket Stadium in Kigali. In Rwanda, the hosts, who are one of the semi-finalists today. In Kenya, won the toss and have opted to bat first. No change for Kenya. They are persisting with the side that won yesterday, the 25-run win over Rwanda, while Rwanda have made one change. Belis Murakatete makes way for Alice Ikuzwe. So it's almost like for like. Both can bowl seam, bat well. But yes, the side who bats well could probably decide who goes ahead. Because Rwanda, we've seen, haven't been really good chasers. They fell short against Namibia in the first day as well, when they were chasing a mere 107. So it's all exciting clash here in the second semi-final of the Kwibuka T20 tournament. Remember, it's a five-team tournament. We started last Sunday. It is in memory of the victims of the genocide, 1994 genocide against the Tutsi community. And that's why you see before the anthems, in fact, there's a 1-minute silence observed. Rwanda, you look at the body language, they seem pretty comfortable. The loss yesterday might perhaps not weighing on in their minds. And once again, we'll talk about the game earlier. Yasmin Khan did a tremendous 78 not out of 53 balls, coming in at number 3. And had Namibia post a humongous 156 for 2. In reply, Nigeria were always under pressure, never really got going in the chase. Eventually, they were restricted to 63 for 8. Talking about this clash, it's Kenya versus Rwanda. One change, as I said, for Rwanda. Alice Ikuzwe comes in for Belis Murakatete. While Kenya are confident with the 11 that they put yesterday, fielding the same team. You can see on your screens that Veronica Abuga now warming up. We saw a while ago Queen Torable also getting ready. These two openers have been really good for them. And Queen Torable has been amongst the runs. She began the tournament as the 4th most run scorer for Kenya, but has overtaken her skipper and those behind the captain, and is now the leading run scorer for Kenya in T20 internationals. The umpires walk out as Queen Torable, 216 runs to her credit. Margaret Pigoche the second at 194. But Abel and Abuga will be the openers for Kenya. And slowly Rwanda, the hosts, make their way to the middle. One thing that we could notice throughout this tournament was that Rwanda are the hosts, but they haven't really felt at home at the Gahanga International Cricket Stadium. Kenya, of course, ranked much, much higher than Rwanda in the ICC rankings as well. There you see Veronica Abuga and Queen Torable walk out to the middle. It's all happening. Second semi-final. Remember, it's a knockout stage. As always, I had a lot of word with a lot of co-commentators as to what a side winning the toss in a crunch game should do. We saw yesterday that final league game, Nigeria opting to bowl first, which was their strength, and not believing in posting a score. Whereas Namibia today and now Kenya both have won the toss and opted to bat first, perhaps wanting the scorecard to play its role as well in putting a pressure on the opposition. Henriette Ishimwe, Immaculée Muhabinimana, all these are the key players for Rwanda as they take field with the ball in hand. Queen Torable will, of course, take first step. Sarah Uwera is back with the gloves. She had let Ruth Achando, in fact, she had taken Flora Irakose to don the gloves yesterday in that league game. So, like, that is one change that they've made. So, Sarah Uwera back with the gloves, number 9 on the back. There is Queen Torable taking guard. She's looked good, but it's only when she gets set, that's when the trouble really starts. She looks to start limping. She looks as if she's gotten stuck. The strike rate comes down a bit, and you just start to wonder if she is fit enough to bat and carry on and bat for long. Indeed, it's Immaculée Muhabinimana with the new ball for Rwanda. That first over. Here we go. On a linked aerial first up, but it's all happening, and it's is it a single? Yes, it is. Queen Torable gets going straight away. Kenya get going straight away in this second semi-final. We're coming to you live from the Gahanga International Cricket Stadium in Kigali. Rwanda are the hosts. They seem to be the home team because they're back with the blue and yellow jerseys. Saw them yesterday with the green and yellow ones. Perhaps that was their away jersey. The color of jerseys will all blur. The bat versus ball comment takes center stage. Here's another one, wide away. This has been one of the trademarks of all the teams. It's almost like a ritual here in this part of the world. You ball at least one wide in your first over. That is something we've been seeing continuously. Two without loss. Another beauty, another beauty. That's a play and a miss. Just a little bit of nibble away from the right-hander. A good start. Beauty. Once again, action replay of what happened the last ball. Just around that good length area. And just nibbles away yet again. Veronica Abuga, almost in a double mind whether to play at it or not. They end up fishing at it outside of 3 balls into the game. Kenya 2 without loss. Waiting for Abuga to fire. So she's the one who often gets going at the start. That's down the leg side. Not the cleanest of takes, but doesn't cost much. We've seen this quite regularly. They bowl it outside off, spray it wide outside off, and then one down the leg side as well. almost overcorrecting. But what's good to see is that there is swing on offer. Immaculate Muhavinimana getting the ball even ever so slightly away. There goes another one, drawing her into the drive, which was something that was missing in Namibia's bowling innings. They hardly seem to get any movement, which Ananya Upendran, my commentator then, put it down to the fact that there was the action has to do something within the bowling action, while Immaculate Muhavinimana swinging it away nicely. That's on the pads. That's not an assertive appeal. Strange kind of a shot from Veronica Abuga there. No damage done. 5 balls done in the first over, 3 without loss. A quiet start, and Veronica Abuga still to get going. She generally has one swish at it in the first over. Another play and a miss. Excellent, excellent start from Immaculate Muhavinimana. 1 over done. It's 3 without loss. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Make sure to make your match-winning team and win up to rupees 5 crores daily. Hashtag Khela Kya. It's time to welcome my co-commentator for this stint as we see a bowling change in Sifa Ingabire, the off-spinner taking the new ball from the other end. Queen Torable will take first strike against Sifa Ingabire. It's time to welcome my co-commentator, former India men's cricketer and broadcaster Sanjay Manjrekar. Hello Sanjay, good to have you on air with us.
Thank you so much for this unique privilege. I'm in, let's have a look at this ball.
That's a good shot, very good shot. Positive start from Queen Torable. Gets down and sweeps it over square leg for a boundary. That's the first in this second semi-final. 7 without loss.
Brilliant shot. And I love the aggression that she's shown. Obviously, the swarm behind her, Quintorable, all-rounder, bowls some off-spin as well. Slightly leg stumpish, but I just love the intent on the first ball. So under pressure now, the off-spinner. Yeah, quickly, just want to thank you. And I'm talking to you from Ali Park, which is just outside Mumbai. Here we go, second ball. So it's a unique honor to be covering this tournament happening in Rwanda, the Kwibuka T20 Tournament. I saw some umbrellas out there in the crowd, which is basically to shield themselves from the sun, whereas here in Mumbai, heavy rains. So the umbrella is used for a different reason. Good running that.
And you've covered the game, you've played the game, and I want your thoughts about it. What would you do in such a game? Would you win the toss and bat first, or you want to back your strengths and bowl first?
Various factors actually decide this very important decision because toss is a huge thing in cricket. It's amazing that a spin of the coin can give you a big advantage. Yeah, good steady bowling there. Good running. Yeah, so teams sometimes take a call on just looking at their morale, whether they're good at chasing, whether the confidence side chasing or batting first. But generally, as you said earlier, it's best to put runs on the board. If the pitch is not going to misbehave later, it's a safe call.
9 without loss. We saw Queen Torable smash the first boundary of this second semi-final of the very first ball she faced off Sifa Ingabire. Would you rather, we'll get back to it. That's another attempted pull. This time the keeper misses it as well. Would you rather rein yourself in such a crucial match, or you'd want at least one batter to go hammer and tongs and have a good score on the board?
As T20 cricket has evolved, and I've followed it very closely over the last many years now, I just feel that you've got to stay in the moment. Very often you make long-term plans, and then you might let go of a couple of easy overs, and then when you want to go hard at the bowling, there's a terrific bowler bowling at you. So stay in the moment. If there are balls to be hit now, go for it.
Huge appeal there, but the umpire stays unmoved. We'll get back to the conversation. It's 2 overs done, 11 without loss, Kenya. Eleven without loss after 2 overs. Mohavini Mana will continue. Another slight away movement there. But you've, as you said, you followed the game, you followed this format as well for a long time. You've written about it in our magazine, the third issue, about the evolution of batting in T20 as in women's cricket. And how do you think the new age of the Shafali Vermas, the Alisa Healy's are driving the game forward, in your opinion?
What direct hit would have done her? Taking a bit of a chance there. In the end, all's well that ends well. So cheeky single there, another good delivery. Bit of pace and bounce in the pitch. So quickly to answer your question, in between balls, I've been very fortunate to have covered women's cricket for a long time. Did some world events for ICC. And just about 5 years back, I would say, I saw a noticeable change because I haven't watched every women's cricket match. It's another wide. That's extras. Way down the leg side. That's going to be four as well.
That ball wavered, that sprayed down the leg side, a diving Sarah Uera. Poor Sarah Uera. It'll all go down to her debits, so I say, because she's the glove person, but nothing that she could have done there.
I wonder why there's the odd ball that goes down the leg side, maybe just no control over the release. Sometimes, outswing bowler, she's a beautiful outswing bowler. You get a little too greedy and want to get that outswing from middle and leg stump and make it look even more, dramatic and nice. It's something that we all fall prey to. So I just wonder whether that's getting her to stray a few balls down the leg side. We've seen three already. So yes, 5 years back, I saw a big change where the power came into women's cricket. And it was with regards to batting, bowling, more importantly, running between the wicket, fielding, and it had all to do with fitness. And the crucial element that I found, a few years back was the transition from men's cricket to women's cricket was seamless for a cricket fan. There's that ball again, the outswinger that we were talking about. And this time, I think the keeper had no excuse. It was right in the channel, as they say. Yeah, so it's not something that fans have to adjust to now. It's just cricket. And if you see tight matches, tight contests, there'll be viewership of women's cricket as well. It's amazing how uh, the graph has changed and risen in the last few years.
Well bowled again. She's just getting that outswinger going, as Sanjay mentioned. That previous ball should be really on another day. She might probably have gotten a wicket thanks to the ball kissing that off stump. Not to be today.
True.
Good ball once again. Queen Torable happy to defend. And 18 without loss after 2.5 overs. Suddenly, Kenya becoming a bit cautious, or they are in fact cautious against the seam bowling of Mohavini Mana. Whereas if I they are freer to hit their shots. And a quiet way to end the third. It's 3 overs gone, 18 without loss, Kenya. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Hashtag Khela Kya. The link is in the description. I have with me Sanjay Manjrekar, former India cricketer and the broadcaster come commentator. And through your second innings, I'd say, you had 2 innings with cricket, one by playing, one by talking about it. You've seen the transition in various aspects in terms of coverage in the men's cricket, in terms of coverage from less coverage. And women's cricket also, there are different stages. So any similarities or differences have you observed with respect to the game improving because of the coverage?
I mean, that is what it is. It needs exposure and it needs fans too. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, just falling short of that fielder at mid-off. Yeah, it's important for fans to gravitate towards the event instead of pleading and expecting people to support, women's cricket. When you are in that position, very rarely does an event or a product, become successful. So it must have to gravitate, and that has started to happen. People want to watch women's cricket. They are starting to know every player, and a lot of that credit has to go to ICC, the BCC as well, who got women's cricket under their purview. But ICC using social media, that's where I thought they were very smart. So while they were promoting a men's event, Men's World Cup, they used the social media platform to also promote women's cricket. And once people start watching, they realized there was so much to look forward to. And one of the things that I mentioned in our magazine as well, was that I walked into a barber shop, a men's barber shop, and they were all excited about the women's cricket final that was happening in Australia, India featuring in that, India, Australia. And these weren't people who were trying to support. Oh, big appeal, big appeal. Let's see what's happened here. I think, yes, there's our first wicket, Sudarshan.
Indeed, she's got a direct hit, and Veronica Abuga has to drag her bat off the field because she couldn't probably drag it in the crease in time. The first wicket falls in for one. That's a terrific fielding effort there.
They've been taking the chances. If you notice, they've been running a lot, hitting straight to the fielder and running. On this occasion, the fielder, the challenge was equal to the task. Direct hits, boy, they're so precious in cricket. The amount of time that you've missed a direct hit and the batter has gone on to get 100 have been numerous. So, setback here for Kenya.
"19 for 1 after 3.4 overs. That brings Margaret Ngoche, the Kenyan captain, to the middle. Kenya would be happy with the fact that it's not Queen Abel who's dismissed. She's been carrying the mantle for them in this tournament. There she goes, charges down the track, the safest spot in a cricket field, over the bowler's head. Gets another boundary despite that valiant effort there.
Brilliant effort. The dive didn't look like one of those dives that you do to impress the captain and get a bit of attention. It was genuine commitment there. Unfortunately, the ball still going over. Good way to react after a wicket. Hit a boundary next ball.
23 for 1 in 3.5. Last ball of Margaret Pumilia's the first over, in fact, the leg spinner. Goes back and cuts it this time in front of square. Did not have the legs to go to the fair. Will at least get one. Do they get back for two? It doesn't seem so. It's 4 overs gone. It's 24 for 1, Kenya. 4 overs gone, 24 for 1. And another change. Henriette Ishimwe, the all-rounder, into the attack. This is the first time the Kwibuka T20 tournament is being streamed live. And Sanjay, what does such things mean to the associate cricket? Because we've seen the mainstream nations get their share of sun in the spotlight, but this is not something that happens regularly.
A good start for Shimwe. She's one of the in-form all-rounders in this tournament. She's had a good tournament with bat and ball. Well, the thing is, why did I play cricket and why did I want to play for India? For the spotlight. But until you get into, the spotlight, this is what you've got to do. You've got to do the hard yards. And it's wonderful that, associate nations are getting this kind of platform because, there's no greater inspiration from somebody like a Quintorable or a Shimwe here to watch yourself on a broadcast. That's a good shot. And just the way it was played, there's always a gap in that direction. So it wasn't the greatest of delivery and latched onto that one.
The juicy full toss in line of the stumps, the right kind of height that you would like as a batter. And all Goche had to do was to time it one. She did through mid-wicket for a boundary, 29 for 1.
But we live in incredible times where a match like this is being covered, it's being broadcast live on YouTube and Facebook. A match happening in Rwanda, commentary happening from Pune and Alibag near Mumbai. So there have been a lot of tragedies around COVID, but these are the things that are also the positives where such things have become possible, where I've been able to take part in this tournament.
Do you prepare different for games that are televised or or streamed live like this case?
No, I'm one of those guys, when I was a player as well, I've always erred on the side of caution, extreme caution. So I come well prepared for everything. There are some natural who just turn up and are able to do the job. I have to, make notes and stuff, and which is exactly what I've done here as well before this little stint of commentary that we are doing together. Oh dear.
Side screen club.
I can understand the frustration of the bowler there. And it looks pretty hot out there, so now we've got to focus on the next ball that she bowls because you're looking at a very angry girl who's been stopped twice in her tracks. Well done. She kept her cool. Great delivery.
4.5 overs, it's 29 for 1, Kenya. So what's your gut? What does your gut say? Is it, there's a lot of time to go in the game. Is it Kenya or Rwanda who will be our second finalists for this tournament?
I'm just looking at the ranking 22 versus 34. I'll go with Kenya. And having said that, on cue, you see another 4 from Kenya. That's another good shot straight. And there was some power there. And that's what we were talking about.
Well wide of mid-off, that was timed beautifully. And that concludes the over as well as Sanjay Manjrekar's stint with us. Thanks, Sanjay, for your time. It was lovely having you on air with us here. 33 for 1.
Pleasure was all mine. Trust me. Pleasure was all mine. Thank you very much for having me.
$33 for 1 after 5. And it's not the wickets. Rwanda won. It's Quintor Abel who tried to be cheeky, tried to guide one, but misses the ball and loses the stump. Second wicket down for Kenya.
That's a very, very good ball there. Sudarshan just straight on off stump, turning not a lot of room for Queen Torable. She tried to use her feet, but unfortunately she was too late. And that is just so disappointing, and you can see that in her reaction. What a way to start my stint.
Player Spot is
Just when I
India's
was
number
about to
one
say,
gaming destination. Player Spot is India's number one gaming destination. Play fun games on the Player Spot app and win up to ₹5 crores daily. And indeed, Mpo, welcome with a wicket. I think Rwanda would have wanted you for ball one.
hey, look, they got Sanjay Manjreka, which is pretty awesome. And it was really lovely listening to you guys have a conversation. I actually thought Kenya were doing quite well up until this point, so maybe it's me who Kenya does not want to be documentary on. But that's very good ball from Vumulia there, Margaret. Really great bowling from her.
Sharon Juma has walked in after the fall of that second wicket. It's almost time to for Kenya. The last over is on. That shot inside the line pulls it away. Nice place for the fielder, but the ball wins. Fielder comes second. Another boundary here. 7 for 2.
Yes, that was just a full toss down the leg side, and Sharon Juma would thank her ancestors or her people or her family for such a gift to start off with from Marguerite. And yeah, just a great pull actually down the leg side. I see Marguerite's liner give it some flight, but I think she just needs to find a way to get it to land like there. That is a beautiful one.
Interesting tactics from Rwanda so far, isn't it? We haven't seen Vumilia Margaret bowl in the power play, but here she is in the big game, the second semi-final. Already bowled 2 overs.
I think what we've seen, Sudarshan, in this tournament is that spinners have come into their own. And so I think it's a great tactic from Rwanda to bring in their spinner, their leg spinner, to see if she can't get a breakthrough, and she did.
Excellent over. Excellent. That ends the power play for Kenya in the second semi-final. 6 overs gone. They are not in the best of positions. 37 for 2. Seven for 2 after 6. Sharon Juma batting on 4. Margaret Ngoche has had a very good start, batting on 8, 2 fours. One through the onside, one straight back past mid-off. Time that they continue. That's another full ball outside off from Henriette Ishimwe. Who's impressed you most so far? Has it been Margaret Ngoche or someone else? What's your reading of the game so far?
My reading of the game so far is that I think the Rwandans have done really well to restrict Kenya to 37 in this power play. As we see this one just go out to the offside. I think I think the trick as a bowling side, obviously, the cricket, many say cricket's a batter's game. The trick to the power play is to not go for that many runs, and 6 runs and over in a power play is very good. And yes, Kenya will say they've got a bit of a platform, but I always look at that wickets column. 2 wickets is what you want as a bowling side going into the end of that power play.
Full again. Pass it down to mid off. Won't get any single.
It's good bowling to the field, and that's what you want in this. Obviously, opposed the power play, you can have more fielders outside of the ring, which decreases the amount of fielders you can have stopping singles. But obviously, you got those boundary riders, so it's really good to see that Henrietta's bowling to that inner field as well.
You see, both those seamers are getting a little bit of movement away. We saw Immaculée Muhawenimana also do that, beating Veronica Abuga at least 3 times in that first over. Now Henriette Ishimwe also getting a bit of movement going around.
It's really lovely for Rwanda to go from Muhawenimana to Henriette Ishimwe, just keeping up that pressure with the experienced players. But that one is a really not a great ball, a full toss, swept down to mid-wicket for 4.
You don't have much pass on 4, but I tell you, I think you've them because you said she's bowled well, and there is a low full toss in line of the stump. That's Margaret Ngoche. Duly trashes to the deep mid-wicket fence. It's a 3rd boundary, but 2 have come out full tosses on the line of the stump.
Yes, I think control of the ball in this shorter format of the game is really important because you can see what Henriette is looking for, and that's that full toss, that full block hole ball that she can get. But she just strayed a little.
That is the end of the 7th over. Kenya are 43 for 2. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Make sure to make your team on the Player Spot app. You could win up to ₹5 crores every day. #Khela Kya. The link is in the description. Josiane Nyirakundaneza to bowl her first over in this semi-final. Remember, it's the second semi-final. Namibia won the first one here today. They are comfortably sitting in that finals and watching this game closely, I'm sure, in order to prepare well for their competitors tomorrow. Good start. Decent start. She's begun it on a full length in line of the stump. Sharon Juma 5 of 7. Juma takes the attacking route now. Down the ground. Slight misfield, but Kenyan batters won't come back for the second. Just one there. Good start for Nyirakundaneza.
What I love about this Kenyan team is that they're rotating the strike at every opportunity that they're getting. They're looking to add more runs on the board, which is good. You don't want to be leaving runs on the table and having regret afterwards.
Lovely shot. It's a pity that there's no run on offer there. He's timed it really well.
Yes. Yeah. Just a great ball to come off the middle of the bat, but just no runs there. It's really disappointing.
Played with soft hands, wanted a single. Margaret Ngoche unable to rotate strike there.
But look at um how reactive Margaret and proactive Margaret Ngoche is. She's moving her feet, getting to the pitch of the ball, trying to manipulate the field with a ball placement.
That's timed well. Pushes down the ground. Finally managed to get off strike. 45 for 2.
Really good shot there, just down the ground. There's always easy runs down the ground, especially with long on and long off, very wide. So if you hit it straight, by virtue that the fielders are going to come in, you'll get a single.
What do you think could be a par score for this semi-final? Because we saw in the earlier game, 156 for 2 was 91 way too much for Nigeria.
Yeah, look, I think anybody who came up against Namibia was up against it. Little streaky there, up in the air, but that's okay. I think a par score, Sudarshan, should be around one. If you can get to a run of ball here, 120. Yourself in good shape.
$47 for 2 after 8. Seems Henriette Shimbe will continue the third over. Tactics change in attack. It's Alice Ikuzwe, and she's been greeted with a hit through the onside in front of square. Get a couple. Sharon Juma timed it well. Moves to 9 of 10.
An interesting thing that you and Sanjay were talking about was the power that entered into the game. And you're seeing that even in this tournament. It's not only at the higher levels, but even at this associate level, you're seeing lots of batters very strong on the leg side. And that shot there was hit quite hard, straight to that fielder backward square.
It's another shot in the air. I don't think it carried to the fielder. Was there a drop chance? But nonetheless, Sharon Juma gets one more.
Alice Ikuzwe looks like her fielder had let her down with the hands on her head, but that brings up Kenya's 50, and it's good time. It's truly in good time, and I think from here anything above 120 would be a bonus.
It's all about rebuilding because they lost 2 quick wickets. First one was of Veronica Abuga, and then the main Queen Torable, who's been really carrying Kenya's batting. That's hit fiercely, and it finds the gap and finds the fence as well. Wonderful shot that from Margaret Ngoche, who's looked the part today. 54 for 2.
It's becoming a little easier with the change bowlers here. Kenya really enjoying the bowling of Alice Ikuzwe. It was short, it was wide, and you can't have fielders everywhere, Sudarshan, and especially behind point when essentially you should be bowling middle and off. And that's really disappointing from Alice Ikuzwe, but great shot from Margaret Ngoche.
18 of 15 is Ngoche. Another look at the field.
It's taking her time. Part of the gamesmanship. Frustrating the bowler. That's a good response. Really good response.
Hey, you made a good point there. Rwanda rotating bowlers, and that's allowing little time for them to settle in. Because we talk about rhythm for the batters, the bowlers also need time to
Oh,
settle
quick
in. That's a quick
singles.
single. That's a fair point you
Yes,
make.
true, and it's true, and also with the way in which I think with tournament play, you also want to start with your best bowlers, and so the onus is then on the change bowler, focused and ready to keep up the pressure when you have such a good start in the power play, taking those two big wickets.
$55 for 2 after 9. Pro was talking about the bowlers not getting the rhythm because of short spells. It's a fair point you make, Pro.
Yes, but also it's up to those coming after to always be focused and be ready to execute the plan, especially after a good start that Rwanda had.
You talk about good shot, it's a gift. Almost another low full toss. Margaret Ngoche puts it away to the fence. Boundary in her stay so far.
Yes, Josiane Nyera Kunduriza is really struggling with her line today. And yeah, just giving Kenya, allowing Kenya to claw back all that they've lost in the power play. Effectively, it's like they've got a second power play in the next 3 overs.
Ready in the 3.1 overs after the power play, so it's a fair point again. That's lovely. Once again, the channel outside off, making Goche feel for it.
More of those. You need more of those to keep yourself in this tournament, keep your team in this tournament. Those are the plans that you need to execute. More dots.
Slight hesitation, but no run there. 59 for 2. Goche is on 23 of 19.
That dot was created by a fielder at short mid wicket, just coming through, making sure, walking in with the bowler. Always need to be alert. Oh no.
In the air, and there's nobody there. The ball goes into the plantations for another boundary. Margaret Ngoche is having a day today with the bat.
Yeah, well, that was just full. It was wide. All Margaret Ngoche could do, being the power hitter she is, just open up her stance and just swing that bat through. There is no fielder there, but I don't think if there ever was a fielder, it would be stopped because it went like a tracer bullet.
Now that's trash to the offside,
Shot.
might not go to the fence, but I think what is happening here is that Quintor Abel overtook her as the leading run getter for Kenya. She's on 230 runs. Margaret Ngoche slowly clawing her way back. She's on 221 now.
That is very true. You know, you got to keep that healthy competition amongst teammates. It gives them something to compete against each other with. Oh no, there could be a run out, and it's a direct hit. What does the umpire say?
Have to wait for that umpire's call, but it's a very good call from Margaret Ngoche. But has Sharon Juma made her crease there? She had to stop, return. I think she's in trouble. Or has she made it in? Think she's safe. That's the end of the over. 10 overs gone, 64 for 2.
And Kenya
Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. आपने hashtag खेला क्या? Make sure to make your teams and pick your players in your Player Spot fantasy team by clicking on the link in the description. We're watching Kenya versus Rwanda, the second semi-final of the Kwibuka T20 Tournament, with Alice Ikuzwe into her second.
two dot balls to start off this over. Really good.
We've seen the promise that Goche has shown at various points in this tournament. It's good to watch her bat long, and Kenya are to do any good in this innings, they need her to stay longer because she's looked the part. 28 of 24, 6 fours.
And that was just a lovely single. Very good single taken. Testing the fielder, testing the fielder's arm there, and the fielder didn't even pull the trigger. And Margaret Ngoja made it in.
The play and a miss.
Lovely line.
Remember,
Lovely line.
we've been counting to that England versus India match as well, starting next Wednesday, the 16th of June in Bristol. We'll be reviewing the India squad on Women's Cricket Zone platform, The Outside View. Do send in your questions regarding the Indian squad for the same. The Outside View will be back throughout the series as the Juma thumps it down the ground for another single.
So for only 2 runs off of this over, which is something Rwanda would be really happy about and something they can use to give them momentum into the final 9 overs.
Gently worked away on her pads. 11 overs gone, 66 for 2. I think there are 4 signs of Kenya slowing down a bit end of the over. Six for 2. Josie and Nirakundanis are 2 overs for 13 so far.
Oh!
Classic clean ball. Timber and Josie and strikes.
And wouldn't you want to take a postcard of that? What a ball from Nyirakundariza. Oh, wow. It was full, it was straight, it was on the money. That's the length you need to bowl in T20s. She hit it on the money, and it was a wicket worthy of a momentum shift. And Sharon Juma goes back in the hut. Really good innings she's had with Margaret Ngoche.
Another look at that. That was full and straight, as Zumfo said. No, Chuma could do. I think she was beaten for pace as well. Couldn't really understand if she should play it forward or backward. Ended up losing her stumps as the vice captain for Kenya, Sarah Uteto, walks into the middle. 66 for 3.
Rwanda with their tails up. Sarah Watoto will be looking to use her experience to guide Kenya to a total that that will set them up to get into that final and face Namibia.
What a shot. Firmly on the ground. Lovely timing, and it goes for 4.
Many batters in the world would love to have that timing off the first ball. She played it like she was she's been batting for the last 10 overs. Really good shot. And Nyera Kunderiza was pretty much trying to get the same ball that she did before. And this time it was hit expertly with some really good timing. Next one goes to the edge of the circle, and no single has. Oh, a single has. No, it hasn't been taken. Just trying to get my bearings here.
For 3
Down the leg side, played by Sarah Watoto, trying to rotate the strike there for her team. That brings Margaret Ngoche on strike. That's a full outside the off stump, driven to extra cover on the circle. The thing with that extra cover fielder creating that single was that she was a couple of paces behind that circle ring, and that enabled that single to be taken. Had she been on the ring, that single would have been turned down. Some really good presence of mind from Margaret Ngoche. This one's in the air, and it is over the fielder's head at mid-off. Four more runs. Sarah Watoto dealing in boundaries to start her innings.
Another lovely shot. Owing to that need as a new batter, and Sarah Watoto is very happy to free her arms and chooses the safest spot to go over the mid-off fielder. Second boundary in the over, that ends the 12. It's 76 for 3 wickets. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Head over to the app and hope you've made your teams as well. The link is in the description. #KhelAkya. On the
That one was just
pad,
down the leg side.
Napil follows, but
The line isn't great though. I think from Alice, and yeah, just not working out. But luckily for her, no run ensued off of that ball.
head over, take Margaret Nigochi almost hit it right back at the umpire. Gets just one.
Ooh, some dangerous moments there from the umpire.
Boy, does she strike it really powerfully. And we know that she had the ability. Today she is showing the movie of the trailer, showing us all through this tournament. A huge wide.
Another wide. Just not good for this Rwandan team. Look, a little bit of ill discipline creeping in.
A good shot. Has she found the gap? No, she hasn't, but it was a low full toss yet again. E for two as Sara Vitoto double figures with those runs.
Yes, Alice Ikuzwe is struggling with her length, and Sarah Watoto is taking full advantage of it. Good fielding by Diane Bimenjimana on the boundary. Good long barrier stop there to prevent the 2 runs.
It helps having a power hitter in the top order, isn't it? We've seen the likes of New Zealand do that with Sophie Devine. There's Liza Lee in the South African setup, Alyssa Healy for Australia, and that's a good shot. Just be
Oh no!
dear. What
Oh
should have been a
no!
routine single. Field it and it goes to the fence. Not the fielding display you'd want in a semi-final, Rwanda.
Oh no, the moment. There was a bit of a slip there. Yes, it was. And unfortunately for Rwanda, it resulted in 3 extra runs. But Sudarshan, as you say, this Kenyan team just has power hitter after power hitter in this top order, and it really helps. You know, you've got Margaret Ngoche, Quinto Rabel, Veronica Abuja, really strong hitters of the ball, and then Sarah Watoto coming in at 4.
Yes, I was talking about power hitters at the top of the order for various teams, and that's where I think we'll get back to that conversation in the next over. It's 13 overs gone, 84 for 3. $84 for 3. I hope you are also following the action and are part of it by making your teams on the Player Spot Fantasy app. Hashtag Khelakya. A small change in the attack. It's a spinner. Is it Sifa Ingabire? So yes, I was talking about power hitters at the top of the order and the effect they have. What's your take on that info? Is that the way forward, or is it just that the teams have them, they are utilizing it better?
Look, I think I think because in women's cricket we're seeing a lot of limited overs matches. You tend, from a selection perspective, look towards power hitters who can go instead of using like an accumulator. Oh, shot, but for no runs. But teams tend to select more power hitters who can find boundaries rather than accumulators who look for singles and twos. And I think it's a way in which international cricket is going, especially in T20s. Now that
smashed up
is up in the air. and it just bounces in front of the fielder at deep mid wicket. Not the It's a risky shot, but it's very safe looking at how deep that fielder is.
Would you rather have 11 Liz Ellis and Alisa Healy's, or 11 Laura Wolfarts and Meg Lannings? What would you?
A mix is always better, and Sarah Watoto missed out on that one, but she still gets it to be bowled again to her with a wide. A mix is great, and you want people who can accumulate, especially outside of the power play, because a lot of teams have a lot of dot balls and they leave runs on the table, and that's my biggest issue.
Played away nicely off the back foot towards sweeper for another single.
That is
87.
That was a lovely shot, lovely little push out to the offside. Sarah Toto essentially is manipulating this Rwandan team's fielding positions.
But it's good to see Goche play the way she is, isn't it? 32 of 32. You come back to it, 14 overs gone, 87 for 3, 6 overs to go. $87 for 3 of 14. That's another change, is it? Margaret Wumilia seems.
Yes, it is the leg spinner. She's her favorite cricketer is Shane Warne, which I think is quite a few of a lot of people around the world. So hopefully she'll get some control. Because her first spell wasn't great from a control perspective. She did get that wicket, so that's going to be something to watch out for.
It hits aerially towards wide long on for another single from Sarah Wuteto. But I think you escaped the earlier question in a clever way. But here's another one. Your team is formed. You have only one spot left. Would you take Liz Lee or would you take Laura Wolfart? As we'll come back to that, it's aerial, but once again it's safe. But yes, Liz Lee or Laura Wolfart?
Gun to my head. Why you want to put a gun to my head, Sudarshan? Liz Lee. In T20s, Liz Lee. Yes. But my problem with that question is we want to see more Test cricket, and I think you'll be covering a little bit of that sometime soon with England playing test matches as well.
We will, as Wuteto once again cuts it nicely. We'll be having shows based on the live matches between England and India starting next week on the Outside View. But it's interesting you choose Liz Lee in T20s over Laura Wolfart, considering what Wolfart has done in recent time in that middle order. So it's an interesting choice.
Another single taken out to the leg side by Sarah Watoto. That one's a little bit short. Vermilia's bowling it a little bit too short. I'd like her to give it a bit of flight, push it a little bit more, and allow the batter to decide whether to come forward or play deep. Right now, it's making it a bit easier for the batter because they're rocking back and they're hitting it to that leg side. That's a much better ball from Asifa Ingabire. I like Laura Wolfart. She's probably one of my favorite batters in the world. I just think from a T20 perspective, especially in the women's game, power hitting is needed, especially in the latter parts of the tournament. This one, just a quick single taken. I know Laura Volfart has the ability to be a power hitter, but if I look at what teams need, especially from this period onwards, would be someone like a Lizelle Lee who can just come and score boundaries at will, even though I'm still a fan of.
Player Sport is India's #1 gaming destination. Make a match-winning team and win up to ₹5 crores every day. #Khela Kya. Make sure to check out the link in the description to download the app. Lempo was talking about why he would have Lizelle Lee over Laura Wolfart in his T20 side.
Oh. Well, we just need runs, and when you need runs, Lizelle Lee can hit the ball very hard and to the boundary, but that one was hit quite hard just for a single by Margaret Ngoche. Yeah, look, I'm a fan that you need both, but if you need runs, and in this format of the game, a power hitter at this stage of the game anytime. And there's a stumping chance. Great ball from Vermilia, who was on the other end, and the umpires calls it not out, but great glove work behind from Sarah Uwera.
Really didn't have much time, just a split of a second, but flicking the bails off it quickly. But you also have to credit Sara Weteto. She's come in, walked in 20 of 14 of 3, hitting 3 fours. The partnership is 28, but she's kept the momentum with Kenya, not letting them get into a stage where things to come by. Yes, the run rate is not extravagant, but I think they are at the stage where they can tee off. As she does, takes the aerial route. The fielder's interested, but she does well to take that catch. Well judged, and that ends Sara Weteto stay in the middle as Kenya lose their 4.
Margaret Vermilia with the ball. I've been asking for her to give it a little bit of flight, and she did. That sweep straight to the fielder, deep mid wicket. Expert catch with the sun in her eyes. Really good cricket from Rwanda, keeping themselves in the game. Just keep checking Kenya as you get down to the end.
Sara Weteto walks back for 20. Kenya 94 for 4.
And the next batter in is Esther Wachira. What Rwanda need now is wickets. The answer is wickets. It's not dot balls. It's wickets to get themselves back in the game. A really good platform's been set by Ngoche Wetoto, as well as who was it? Sharon Juma.
$94 for 4. Esther Wachira. Walks into the middle.
Dot ball to begin with. Good flight. Another dot ball, so the train is slowing down in this over.
I think the tactic is to see off Umilia Margaret's spell, 2 for 14. This is the last over. Don't be surprised if nothing much comes of it as well. As Ngoche runs quickly to the other end. Will be a quick over. Wonderful spell ended from Umilia Margaret. 4 overs, 15 for 2. And 16 overs gone. Kenya, 95 for 4. Margaret Ngoche, 36 of 40. She's on par with Queen Torable as the highest T20I run scorer for Kenya in T20 Kenya. And now there's a change in the bowling. It's Makuli Muhavinimana brought back for another spell. What a wonderful starting spell there. 2 overs for 9, getting that movement away from the right-hander. Good shot.
I love the rotation of strike from Kenya. They're just always looking to try and get to the pitch of the ball, to try and move the ball either side of fielders and get to the other end.
What's the score you think Kenya would be comfortable with from this point?
Anything below 130, they'd be disappointed. I know I said 120 earlier on, but they really laid the platform with Toto and Ngoche for a massive score.
Lovely shot there. Finds the gap. Does the ball have enough in it to go to the fence? No, it doesn't. Excellent chase from third man. We get a couple as Margaret Ngoche now becomes the highest run scorer for Kenya in T20 internationals.
That is an amazing feat, passing her teammate Queen Torable, and something to be celebrated at the end of this game. Hopefully, she'll be hoping that it's a celebration with a spot in the final.
Swing. Nothing much.
I'm loving Immaculate's bowling. She's been on the money all the time, and the shots that Kenya are taking are quite risky, but that's the name of the game. You got to take some risks to be successful. And just as I say things, I should just keep quiet. 5 wides.
Oh dear. Immaculate Muhavinimana, I think it's the second time that she's given away 5 wides. And poor Sarah Wera, the skipper, it'll all go down in her account. Because she fails to stop it, but it's well beyond her reach. It brings up the 100 for Kenya, 102 for 4.
Just letting her wrist go there, and with her head falling away, that wrist position also was in the wrong place, and that's why the ball just keeps on going that way. Just need to strengthen those wrists. For anybody younger kids listening, strengthen those wrists, and the ball control will come through with your action. And if you look at that ball there, her posture was upright, her head was facing the right way, not falling away, and her wrist action was held up really nice, and the ball just went straight through.
Quick return, but I think Margaret Ngoche is safe. 38 of 44.
And also for some young batters, look at how Margaret Ngoche is batting. She's not necessarily stuck. Her back foot's not stuck in the crease or where the line is. She's always willing to move to closer to the ball, to where the pitch is. And like with that shot over the top, that opens up the angle for another wicket because she's caught at mid-wicket on the circle.
Well, it did look as if she's got plenty of that. It seems that the ball traveled only as far as mid-wicket, as that's a massive strike for Kenya. 102 for 5. Margaret Ngoche walks back for 38 of 45. What a knock it was.
Are they tied at the top now, or has she surpassed Queen Torable? Well, looking at that wicket, Margaret Ngoche was looking for that wide expanse over that fielder at mid-wicket in the ring, but she probably got the bottom half of the bat, mistimed it. She's very angry because she knew what she was trying to do, and this time it didn't work out because it went straight to that field in the ring when she needed to clear that fielder. 102 for 5. Rwanda keep stopping this train from moving.
Ruth Echando, the wicketkeeper batter, walks to the middle now. 102 for 5. Henrietta Shimwe with the ball.
Down the leg side there, but good presence of mind from the fielders in the ring to prevent any thought of a single.
In fact, it's Lavenda Idambo who's at the non-striker's end.
That's in the air. Ooh, just in front of the of Diane Bimenjumana there. But the most important thing is that it's a dot ball accruing to Rwanda. Normally in T20 cricket, 2 dot balls increases your chance of either a boundary or a wicket. What will this be? A boundary or a wicket or some runs? Who knows? Another dot ball. So that's 3. So that means chances of a wicket increase to about 50%. 3 dot balls in a row. What will we get here?
$103 for 5.
That one hit straight down the ground for another single. Lavende Idambo is now off the mark with a single.
Thinking is that Kenya probably think that they don't have enough. That's why they have sent in a pinch hitter in Lavenda Idambo. We saw her the other day scoring a quick fire 15. That could be the thinking, is what I read. Last ball of the 18th, Henriette Ishimwe, 104 for 5. So on a length, it will just be another single. That's 18 overs done. Kenya are 105 for 5. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Play fun games on the Player Spot app and win up to rupees 5 crores daily. #Khelakya. Sorry. head over to the link in the description and you can make your team as well after downloading the app. 105 for 5, 2 overs to go. This Sifa Ingabire, by the looks of it, she'll be bowling her last over.
Some really good death bowling from this Rwandan team.
Tossed up, but couldn't get it beyond the circle. Just be another single. 106 for 5. Lavenda Idambo. What can she do against the spins?
It's really tricky bowling a spinner in this time of the innings, especially when she's giving it a lot of flight.
Aerially, but towards wide long on will just be one. She's trying hard, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, and it feels as though she's looking to bring those fielders in the deep and tempt Kenyan to go long.
Once again, the ball can't cross mid-wicket for another 3 singles in this over so far. Towards square leg, another single, not able to get more. They're trying too hard.
Well,
it's not happening.
At this point in time, boundaries are not what you want, and singles for Rwanda they will take.
That is what Sifa Ingabire wanted. The player trying to go big, Esther Wachira, misses it completely and cleaned her up comprehensively.
Really good strangle from Rwanda, some good bowling. Those singles created the pressure, and Esther Wachira wanting to go for the big heave-ho, and Ingabire just taking it straight through and finding the gap and taking off those bails for another wicket. 109 for 6.
Jane Otieno is the next batter for Kenya. 109 for 6. Well short of your 120 run mark and the 130 revised 130 run mark.
It's a quick single there, good one. You just need to keep it ticking, even though you're not getting to the 120, but it's still possible with 1 over to go.
$110 for 6 after 19. The last over of the innings. Henriette Ishimwe will continue 3 overs for 18. No wickets yet. Taking their own sweet time, Rwanda, to set the field right. A direct hit would have had her. She misses and gets a single. 111 for 6.
In all the perfection around getting the field right. The other thing that the fielders need to understand is to walk with the bowler.
That's straight, that's in the air, and I think she's got enough. A couple of them into the fence. Lavenda Idambo does what is needed.
Those are some really long levers from Idambo. Her bat lift is very high, and that ball became a half volley with that pace and pace off the bat with that swing all the way down the ground. A really lovely shot, one of the best shots we've seen in this game so far.
It's strange that in the last over there's no long off or long on in place. I don't think there's a long off for sure. But to mid off in place, what do you think the bowling tactics might be?
You need to bowl it wide outside the off stump, not full and straight.
Now they had one long off in place. We'll just get a single Idambo. 7 of 5 as the score moves to, like 8 of 6 as the score moves to 116.
Really important ball, this one in the over. Just adding on the pressure in those final 2 balls.
Just past the bowler again. We'll get a single this time. 117 for 6 with a ball to go.
Edging ever closer to that 120.
Revising your revised target for Kenya. Here's the last ball.
Oh, beautiful ball.
What an anti-climax for Kenya, who finished on 117 for 6. And it's a terrific last over despite, in fact, it was Josiane Nurakundineza who bowled that final, not Ishimwe. But what an over this was. Not much after that boundary. And this innings all hinged on Margaret Ngoche's 38. 117, your first thoughts on the score, Mpo?
This game is probably in Rwanda's half. I think they'd be happy with restricting Kenya to under 120. Kenya just wickets at the wrong times. It stemmed their momentum as they were going on. You can't be 94 for 3 after 15 and only finish at 117 for 6. That is something that Kenya will have to work on going forward. But now it's up to their bowlers to try and win them this match. The score is right around par, slightly under par, and Rwanda will feel very happy with what they're about to face.
117 for 6 thanks to Margaret Ngoche's 38, a 20 from Sara Uteto. And this is, of course, after Queen Torable gave them a good start at 14. But look at the bowling card, and Tifa Ingabire, the spinner, returning 1 for 19. But Wumilia Margaret, 4 overs, no maidens, 15 for 2. Also, all has signs that the spin could be very decisive. We'll come back with the chase. Rwanda need 118 to win this game and make the final. That is tomorrow, where Namibia have already qualified for. We'll come back to you after the break.
Onto an off field. We recently in Pakistan, against Pakistan, we had a table tennis tournament, and I came out as the winner. So I think that was really special in the bio bubble, and we can't do too much. So our trainer put up a whole schedule for us to have a full-on table tennis tournament, and I came out on top. So I was pretty chuffed with that. Well, that's a tough one, but I think I'll have to go with a tennis player, Serena Williams. definitely me. No, I'm joking. No, she's a pretty strong girl. I think she might. I think her bicep is a little bit bigger than mine, so I'm going to say Lazali will win that one. Let me go with, I was thinking while studying, I've got an honors degree in marketing, but I think I picked that because it was something that I could do with sport, but I probably think I would have become a medical rep if it was not for cricket, because that's something that you're on the road quite often. I enjoy the medical side of things, but I'm not good with blood. So I thought it's a clean medical field. So being still involved with medicine, but maybe just working and just being a sales representative. Be ecstatic. I think he's such a skillful cricketer. Everybody calls him Mr. 360. So if I could get have one day and be that fantastic, I would take that any day. I'm gonna say Marizon Cup. I think she's a very skillful bowler, and I know she's really always in the net. She's thinking about her bowling and really making it hard, and you're not always sure what she's gonna bowl, because she can swing the ball away, bring it back in. She's got some really good slower balls, and then she's worked on the odd bounces, so it's not knowing what to expect. And she's a very clever bowler, so I think she's one of the hardest bowlers to bat against. Ooh, I'm gonna go with a cannelloni. I think my husband really enjoys cannelloni, so I think that's the dish I'm gonna say out loud. I would have to go West Indies. I love tropical islands, and crystal clear blue waters is definitely for me. So I really enjoy traveling to the Caribbean. Oh, that's a challenging one. But I'm going to go with the queen we had before. I'll go with AB de Villiers. I think the best advice that I've been given is if your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. And the second one is to use your stumbling blocks as stepping stones.
Yeah, similar to Tash's thoughts. I think I really was able to kind of enjoy playing in New Zealand and not have too much on my mind to think about the future, because I know that either way there's going to be good quality cricket wherever you go and training wherever you go. And looking forward to the summer. There's obviously a lot of international cricket that's going on, but you know, if you don't make those squads, there's Hey-Ho Flint Trophy, there's a T20 Trophy to come back to and play a big role, which is obviously going to be a really good standard and play with a really good team as well. So I think it definitely takes a lot of pressure off and gives a different and new opportunity, which I'll be looking forward to. I took a lot from it, and yeah, like I said before, I was just able to kind of go out and enjoy kind of playing and being on the pitch with the girls and not have too much else in my mind. I think obviously the batting line in England at the minute is you know, the top 5-6 is full of world-class players, so it's very hard line to get into. And I think for me, I'm kind of trying to think of it as kind of like a marathon, not a sprint, I guess. I'm, you know, fully confident in my ability, and if I do well, and hopefully I get an opportunity, and if not, then you know, I try my best to get back in, but it's not the be all and end all just now. But yeah, I'll do everything I can to really break into that squad, and love to break into the ODI squad at some point in the near future. But I think for me, it's just taking each game as it comes and just trying to win each game for the Stars, really, and not think too much about the future in England selection, but just try and focus on the here and now and get a few games, get a few wins under the belt for the Stars and get off to a good start. And enjoy playing with the girls. They've had a really good winter, and it's been really fun to come back and join them this week, and I'm sure the next few weeks are also going to have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun on the pitch too.
Hello and welcome back to Women's Cricket Zone's coverage of the Kwibuka T20 Tournament. This is Kenya versus Rwanda, the second semi-final. Kenya batted first and posted 117, 176 in their 20 overs. Rwanda, the host, needed 118 to set up the title clash with Namibia tomorrow afternoon. All these matches are coming to you live from the Gahanga International Cricket Stadium in Kigali. Rwanda, the hosts, their openers walk out to the middle. There's Delphine Mukarurangwa and Sifa Ingabire, who opened for them even yesterday. Remember, Kenya and Rwanda played yesterday their last league game, the 9th of the tournament, and Kenya emerged victorious by 25 runs. And once again, Rwanda are now chasing 117. Yesterday, they couldn't chase 108. Lavenda Idambo has the ball in hand for Kenya. Earlier this morning, we saw Namibia bat first and bat big, posted 156 for 2 in their 20 overs. Nigeria couldn't get through. 65 for 8 is what they finished. A huge 91 run win for Namibia to make the finals. But here we are all set. Giselle Ishimbe, there's a change in the batting order for Rwanda. Giselle Ishimbe opens the batting. She's on strike. And it's Lavenda Idambo. And I am joined by Mpo Mutluane, my co-commentator for this innings as well. Welcome back, Mpo.
Thank you very much, Sudarshan. It'll be interesting for us to see whether Rwanda can break that ceiling of runs they've put up in this tournament and get to the 117. The most they've gotten was 108 against Nigeria. So it's going to be quite interesting to see if they can get those extra 9 runs.
Yes, Delphine Mukarurangwa taking strike. But there's a change in partner for her as things stand. There's Giselle Ishimbe at the other end and not Sifa Ingabire, who opened for their last 2 games. What do you think of the shuffling at the top of the order?
Rwanda recognizing that they might have to take advantage of the power play and to get a score probably higher than what Kenya put out. So a little bit of a pinch hitter and a change in strategy doesn't hurt when you're chasing something that might be a record for you in this tournament.
Said that Mukarurangwa gets going. Gentle guide to third man. She's at the other end. Score moves to 1. That's the first runs on the board. In fact, 2 runs. There was a wide score, but Mukarurangwa gets going now. Jumbo to Giselle Ishimbe. Oh dear. I think only one of them wanted that quick single, and it was not Giselle Ishimbe.
Yes, just a little bit of a communication mishap there, as both teams are as Rwanda is trying to get this innings up and running.
Quiet start. Just 2 runs so far for the first 3 balls. That is pushed down the ground. Once again, there's no scope of a single. How do you approach this chase? You said that it will be a record for Rwanda. How do you go about it?
Well, with the promotion of Giselle Ishimwe, essentially they're giving her license to try and look for those boundaries early, take advantage of the fact that there are not a lot of fielders on the boundary.
That is in the gap. Once you do that, it doesn't matter much, but she's not got enough power, which means she'll not get the boundary, but will get a couple, and they run back for 3. Excellent running between the wickets.
Yes, very good running from these two. That ball was full and straight down the leg side, and Giselle Ishimwe letting us know why she's been brought out to bat to open the batting. They're really good shot down to deep mid wicket. Looks like Kenya are going to try and restrict this Rwandan side by bowling outside the off stump. They have a offside dominant field.
Indeed, it's a swing and a miss. The first over comes to an end, 5 without loss. Five without loss. Head over to the Players Spot app. That is India's #1 gaming destination. Make your team and stand a chance to win up to rupees 5 crores every day. Hashtag Khela Kya. As it's going to be spin from the other end, Melvin Idambo has the ball. It's a good start. She's on the money right away, giving no room, nothing underneath no scope for the batter to get under the ball.
That's a beauty.
That's nicely bowled.
Slowing down the pace. Essentially, what Kenya is saying is to Giselle is that you're going to use your own power to find those boundaries. We're not going to give you any pace.
I think Kenya are realizing that it's probably not too easy to get away with spin. That's why they haven't opened with Queen Torable, who did so with the ball yesterday, probably saving her spin overs for later in the middle. So Idambo coming after the 10th over yesterday. Different strategies used today. That's tossed up. But not punished as it should have been.
Yes, it's counter to what you would normally get, what you would traditionally get from a T20, where you'd want quicks at both end to try take advantage of the fact that you've got those fielding restrictions and you can bowl one side of the wicket, but using spin when you're asking the team to when the team wants to use power is a very ingenious way of restricting and getting through some of those overs at the top.
Melvin Idambo has been one of the more economical bowlers as well for Kenya. That's really helping them. Quiet start, 2 overs gone, 7 without loss, Rwanda. Excellent effort in the field there. Excellent effort. This is what you need when you're defending a target, not letting easy boundaries at the start, and that's really done well. Captain Margaret Ngoche was also happy with that effort there.
Very good fielding. Just the fielder just putting it all out there. Lovely dive, preventing the single, adding more pressure onto this Rwandan effort.
That nicely worked away to the onside. Oh dear, should have been just one, not more at all. You get a couple there, Giselle Ishimwe. She is not the one complaining. She's happy to take those runs, moves to 6. The score moves to 10.
Yeah, just a little bit of a concentration lapse in the field by Jane Otieno, but I'm sure her teammates will help her out with that and help her keep her focused.
Ishimwe, she admires header, tells us. Oh dear, there's an appeal for LBW. Has it been given? It seems yes.
It has.
Giselle Ishimwe. Her stay in the middle has been a very brief one as Lavenda Idambo strikes.
If you look at this one, looked like it was going down leg, but Giselle Ishimwe had moved across to off stump, so it was it essentially was plum, man. She was looking to play that down the leg side. Just very disappointing start, but is that the end of Plan A for Rwanda Stashen, or are they gonna try bring in another pinch hitter to try get this innings going?
Ten for one, and Giselle Ishimwe has been dismissed. Henriette Ishimwe takes her place in the middle at number 3. This looked like a better batting lineup for Rwanda, but it's early strike for Kenya here. Nicely, but straight to the fielder.
I like the crouching stance. From it looks like, is it Uwamahoro? Oh, it is Ishimwe, Henriette Ishimwe. And that hit was really strong. Just it's one of those things where you're like, good shot, but unfortunately no runs.
That is a good shot. The chase for Sarah Wittoto. She'll cut it off well, and we'll get a couple. Does Henriette Ishimwe to get going. 12 for 1.
Very good shot there, just on the left side of Wittoto, who was fielding at mid-on. Easy runs there, easy for them to take 2 in that wide expanse of field.
Now
there we go.
Nicely. Lovely stroke that through the covers, bisects the gap between mid-off and covers and earns herself a boundary.
Henriette Ishimwe is arriving. She knows what the answer to the test is, and she's putting the ball to the boundary. Very good shot. Now can this Rwandan innings get that jump start it needs to go on and to make their way to the final at home in the Kwibuka T20 Tournament?
$16 for 1 after 3. Joining us just now, Rwanda are chasing 118 for a spot in the final, which Namibia have already booked. This is the second semi-final from the Gahanga International Cricket Stadium in Kigali, which is in Rwanda. The hosts are batting second because Kenya won the toss and opted to bat first and posted 117. And they've already managed to see the back of Giselle Ishimwe, trapped LBW by Lavenda Idambo.
Mukurarungwa is being held up on that one end by Melvin Idambo.
It's a good way to get to the other end. Quick single.
Very streaky single. A little bit of pressure from Melvin Idambo, just forcing Mukurarungo, just trying to get herself to the other end. The ball's not coming off the bat really well, but you need to find a way to get the scoreboard ticking over.
That's a waste of a ball. But this is a battle I'm keenly looking forward to. The spin of Melvin Idambo, where she doesn't give any pace whatsoever, and the smarts of Henriette Ishimwe.
It is quite intriguing because you expect Henriette Ishimwe to be able to take advantage of the fact that they've got a spinner on in the power play. She's caught, fell into the trap of Melvin Idambo. It was short. Simwe thought she could just get some healthy, meaty bat onto it, but it went straight to the fielder at extra cover. Well, this battle that you're talking about, Sudarshan, ended 2 balls later.
It really did, and there was a nothing shot from Henriette Ishimwe, who began impressively in the last over. She should have bided her time, taken it deeper, but all she has to show is 6 of 5 against her name as Rwanda lose their second for 18 on the board, 4 overs gone. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Make sure to make a match-winning team and you could win up to ₹5 crores every day. Hashtag Khela Kya. The link is in the description below. You can download the app right now. Rwanda in the second semi-final are 18 for 2 after 4 overs. As we see, a bowling change in Queen Torable. It's brought from one end. Diana Bimainimana will be at the other end as 2 quick wickets meant that Rwanda pegged the back.
This is not the start that Rwanda are looking for. They would have been hoping that they would have kept some wickets early. They don't want to lose a third one in the power play because that would effectively derail their efforts to getting to the 117.
Table begins well, but I didn't understand what Henriette was doing that last over. She could have tried to gauge the pitch of the surface of the bowler instead of trying to take her from ball 1.
It's all about the pressure. Pressure is telling on this Rwandan top order, and they just keep on falling into the trap that Kenya keep on setting.
Wide. I think
Queen Torable,
to look at how
I'm just saying that line from Queen Torable, she mustn't be afraid of being hit. She needs to give it flight just like Melvin Idambo and allow the batter to try and put some bat onto it because that brings your fielders in.
I think Rwanda need to bat like how Margaret Ngoche did for Kenya. Just be watchful and the bad balls will come. They need to have wickets. She goes again. It's nicely pulled away through the onside. There is protection in the deep. Mukarurangwa not gotten going once again. A couple there. But the strike rate is just a mere 50 at the moment. And it's probably not the start that they were looking for, Rwanda.
It isn't. And you kind of feel that the other partners of Mukarurangwa in this innings have kind of felt the pressure that of her not scoring runs being transferred onto them.
Queen Torable once again slipping in a nice, quiet, economical over, like she's been doing all through the tournament. Failed with the bat today. That scored an unbeaten 47 the other day against the same opponents. Here she is doing her job with the ball. Very quiet start. Once again, last ball of the fifth over, the penultimate of the power play. And this is another dot to end. 3 runs of the over. 5 overs gone. 2 down Rwanda for 21. Need another 97. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Hashtag Khela Kya. Head over to the link in the description. Download the app and make your team. Third over for Idambo. Excellent effort there by Queen Torable. Keeps it down to just 1.
Very interesting that in the power play, Kenya have used 4 overs of spin. Tactically have been on point. Very well done from this Kenyan side. Really good choice of starting with spin to slow down the power hitters at the top of the order for Rwanda.
You made an excellent point there of Kenya having used 4 overs inside the power play of spin, but we haven't seen much use of the feet against the spinners in the power play throughout this tournament. Because generally, if you have the field up, it is considered quite easy to hit over the top. But we haven't seen that happen throughout this tournament on a regular basis.
Yes, batters have been very wary of coming down the wicket for fear of being stumped. But what I loved about this Kenyan side, and I spoke about in the first innings, was that they were willing to get to the pitch of the ball and look to try hit it over. Some unlucky, but others very fortunate in doing that and did it quite well.
And I think that's where Margaret Nigoche began well. And she got a couple of full tosses to get going as well. So that's not something that Kenya bowlers are offering. See, that's nicely worked away, but there is protection. So they worked out the angles nicely as that concludes the power play. Rwanda going nowhere so far, 25 for 2. They need another 93 and have only 84 balls to get there. Five for 2. Delphine Mukarurangwa on strike. She has company in Mari Diana Vimayanimana. The highest scorer for Rwanda. Taken the aerial route for another single as Mukarurangwa moves to 9 of 18.
Yeah, she's put a lot of pressure on herself with the amount of dot balls she's managed to face, and put a lot of pressure on her partners as well, who have someone wanted to just cover for all the dot balls that she's missing. It is a team game, and you both batters in the middle feel the pressure of the other if the other is under pressure. And it's just been quite disappointing from a Rwandan perspective that they've just not been able to just get going.
Indeed, and that's why it's more imperative and more important for the batters who get a start to carry on longer. We saw Henriette Ishimwe. She got a really good start. I mean, it was one boundary, but she looked the part. She looked good. Seemed to have gotten the measure of the surface. But that loose shot against Melvin Idambo to walk back. So it's important, I guess, for the batters who seem to have got the measure of the surface to carry on for longer.
I agree with you there. That's a very good ball from Queen Torable. Just straight to the block hole. No ability for the batter to get underneath it. Just This is a bowling. This is becoming a bowling masterclass.
And again, it's a huge struggle for Mukarurangwa to rotate the strike. She's not finding the boundaries all right, but she's unable to rotate that strike as well. Struggling at 9 of 20.
They should have taken the single there. Should have taken the single.
And again, it just doesn't seem to end for Delphine Mukarurangwa. Strike rate's getting lower and lower. The pressure's getting higher and higher. No, she's managing to try to push it to the offside for a run, but not succeeding. And she tries something fancy, gets an edge to the offside, gets the single, but at the wrong time because that's the end of the over. 7 overs gone, 27 for 2, and Mukarurangwa will take strike on the next over. It's 28 for 2 after 7. Melvin Idambo to bowl out. While you could also get involved in the game by making your team in the player spot fantasy app. The link is given in the description. Hashtag Khelatya, which means have you played. Played away for just another single. Mukarurangwa, 11 of 23. The asking rate was well above 5.5. Bimaini Manam. She is one of the experienced candidates in this Rwanda batting lineup. The best of 114 not out. The only player in Rwanda to hit a century in T20Is. But can she play her part in this run chase? 89 years of 76 more balls. Cut away nicely, but there is protection. You almost sense that Kenya have managed to cut the angles out, not giving singles. Melvin Idambo is almost on the verge of completing her spell.
It's just incredible from Melvin Idambo. Good bowling spell from Melvin Idambo.
Another single. 30 for 2, 7.4. As you say, it's a train and it's a slow moving train which has more signals than more red signals than green.
Oh my word, the stop-start nature of this innings is just not going anywhere, going nowhere slowly.
At the end of the over, number 8, 31 for 2 are Rwanda.
Somehow you need to...
Queen Torable continues with a third, 2 overs for 6 so far. The smart captaincy. Continuing the spin attack to Mukarurangwa.
Spin is winning this game for Kenya.
Indeed, and this is Diana Mari Bimainimana. Oh dear. Easy peasy, that smashed right back to Queen Torable. Easy catch. And wicket number 3, this had to happen, and it has happened in the form of Diana Bimainimana's wicket. Tossed up nicely. Bimainimana looked to go big, but all she could do was to hit it straight back at Queen Torable, who's one of the calmest catchers at home bowling. Third wicket down for Rwanda, 32 for 3 after 8.2. Thirty-two for 3 in 8.3 overs. It's Katia Uamahoro, I beg your pardon. That is some shot, but I think she almost gave a catch of a very first ball. I think someone in this Rwanda batting lineup needs to play like an innings like Amantle Mogotle played yesterday for Botswana against Nigeria, trying to take her time. She took her time and then started hitting boundaries towards the end, and Katia Uamahoro can very well do that. And Rwanda, in fact, required 86 of 68 more balls. Pushed away to the offside to a quick single. Will they get a couple there? No, they don't.
It's not working for Rwanda at all. They need boundaries and they just can only get singles. Great bowling from Kenya, but really disappointing from Rwanda, who had such a chance at the change of innings.
Finds the gap, but there is protection in the deep yet again. That is 9 overs gone. Kenya have a complete control over the proceedings as Rwanda are 34 for 3. Need another 84 in 66. Thirty-four for 3. The Kwibuka T20 Tournament, the second semi-final. Tomorrow is the third place playoff in the morning before the finals in the afternoon. There's a lot of cricket action coming your way in the coming few months. There's lots of test cricket. Mpho, are you a fan of tests? Because England and India clash next week.
I'm excited for it, actually. It's going to be quite interesting to see some test cricket, some women's test cricket for a change.
Talking about change, Esther Wachira has been brought into the attack. Streaky way to get some runs there for Mukarurangwa. Doesn't go to the fence. But there's not just one test, because in September, India and Australia also day-night test, the pink ball test in Perth. So lots of tests here, and of course the Ashes earlier next year. So 3 tests in the coming 8 to 9 months for the women. How excited are you, and which one are you looking forward to? In fact,
Yes, it's going to be quite great. Well, that was a white ball, but it's going to be quite great because we haven't had a lot of Test cricket. It's been a while, and I'm excited for India actually because I think they could cause a bit of trouble for this English side.
India have not lost a Test match in England yet. That's a record that is in their favor. The last time won in 2014, that famous Test in Wormsley. So the history backs India, but remember they are out of practice. While England have played a Test in 2019, India has quite
Mm,
inexperience in that format. So it's an interesting matchup.
this has been a lesson in strangling teams.
Change in bowling as Tarwachira bowling, but the same control being held by Kenya. And hard, Delphine Mukarurangwa is trying, but she's just not able to get the ball away from, in fact, past the circle as well. 15 from 29. So struggles real.
Oh, some movement down the order, down the pitch, getting to that strike of the ball is Mukurangwa. Really good, enterprising some cricket there, just a little bit too late.
Just gets one though. Doing all that and just getting a single. So it's real struggle for her. One that chasing 117, remember. 38 for 3. The last ball of the 10th over. A huge wide. 39 for 3. It's almost
Missed out on
turned
that
out to be a
one.
one-way traffic, isn't it?
Yes, and that's disappointing, especially with these two semi-finals that we've had today.
The full toss outside off. He will not get more than a single. So 10 overs gone. Rwanda a 40 for 3 and are slowly but steadily moving out of the game as they need another 78 for a win. You saw it in the ad break. England versus India, all on Women's Cricket Zone platform. The outside view will be back, and so will the text stories on the website www.womenscrickzone.com. Queens are able continues. There's a slight misfield that
Misfield
allows the
allowing the
batters to
two
come back
there.
for a couple.
Just misfield there, just enabling the second, forcing a bit of a dive from Diane Mukurangwa, Delphine Mukurangwa, but they just need. I think for Rwanda, they just need to look for boundaries. They need to find a way to look for boundaries. I'd rather you get bowled out trying to search for boundaries than trying to preserve your wicket for a game that for what? Because tomorrow there's no tomorrow essentially for this Rwandan side.
But I think she's run out as Delphine Mukururangwa made the dive, but I don't think she made it in time. So she's been ruled out. The fourth wicket falls 40 for 4.
That's just truly
Sankara Vera walks out to the
disappointing.
middle. 21 for 4. The slide continues. Sara Uera at the non-striker's end. Katia Uomaharo. She can remember, play those big shots, play that busy innings that they need. There is still hope, even a tiny one though. Oh dear.
Very good wicket keeping.
Out.
She got back in time. Some great great stumping there. Just obviously it's safe by Ruth Chando. Great glove work so far from her.
You can sense that Katia Uomaharo is trying to force the issue there, and Sara Vuteto still to get into the attack. So that is also a threat that Rwanda should be mindful of. We probably might see Sara Vuteto next over, but the new batter on strike. I think it's Vumilia Margaret, not Sara Uera.
A little bit of impetus required to just help Rwanda get this train back on the tracks. A missed opportunity there. Missed opportunity there. A full toss going down leg side. She got bad onto it, but couldn't get enough to force something.
I think what's troubling me is the body language of Rwanda. I know it's 117 to win, it's a tall ask, but their body language never seemed as if, through their body language, they never said as if they're going to get to the score. Not much communication between the batters in the middle as well, even though there was a big struggle for Mukaru Rangwa. Their partners that she had never went down and had a chat with her. So I think they're almost lost it before the chase began. We're only starting to see it play out in the way it is. 43 for 4, 10, 11 overs gone. Queen Torable is done with herself. 4 overs, 11 for 1. Quick updates regarding news, games, features, interviews from the world of women's cricket. Download that Women's Cricket Zone app. You can have it all in your fingertips. Videos, podcasts, of course, features and news articles. It's available on Apple and Android stores as well. Also, play the Player Spot Fantasy game. The link is in the description. We see Rwanda chasing 117 or 43 for 4. It's back for a second spell. A delayed appeal from her.
I think to answer your question, Sudarshan, before we went to break, you kind of felt that Rwanda had plan A, and plan A didn't work out, but plan B, they felt they didn't trust in plan B either. And as you said, there's no talking in the middle at the end of overs. There's no encouragement in the middle of at the end of balls. It's like every man for every person for themselves here in this game, and that's really disappointing.
I think they just picked up a single and not a double, so that urgency also seems to be almost given up, it seems. 75 needed, 74 now in 52.
Mm.
Finally, Uwamaharo has broken the silence, it seems. The dearth of boundaries has been broken by that shot from Katia Uwamaharo. Lovely shot through mid wicket that.
Very good shot there. One of those shots we've been waiting for the past couple of overs, just opening up that front foot and finding that vacant mid-wicket region, splitting the fielder at a more square mid-wicket as well as that long on for four. It's a really good shot.
That should make them go for more runs. You see that what immediately changes her line and length. But I loved how she used her feet, Katia. Got to the pitch of the ball and do that. It was easy to access the leg.
Mm. That is a beautiful shot. That is incredible shot. She had to reach for that one, got the toe end of the bat, but it still raced away for four. Just unbelievable batting from Katia Uwamahoro, who could possibly be bringing her team back in the game. If you're dealing in boundaries in this format, you always have a chance.
Lovely shot to follow one boundary. This was width on offer. She crashed it over covers. And that ball raced away in no time. Now we're starting to see some action from Rwanda. Now their batters are making an appearance there.
And the forward defensive comes back out.
The 12 overs gone, 52 for 4, 66 needed in 48. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Make sure to have head over to the app. The link is in the description below. Make your team #Khelakya. And one of the players you should have had is Sara Wetoto. First time going to bowl today in this game.
That's a good first ball from Sarah. It's a lot slower than what they're faced with the other spinners, and so it takes a little adjusting to, and just beaten by the flight there. It came out a little bit slower, and so you just have to wait a bit and play it quite late.
Vumilia tried too hard to go from the very first ball, looking at Katia the other over. Once again charges down.
Oh no!
Dear.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
All
Only
is
one batter
keeper's
wanted to
end,
run there.
and that is just disappointing. That is truly disappointing. Mix up, no yes, no yes. I'm not sure what Vermilia heard, but I'm sure that no was very audible, and she got herself run out, and Rwanda in a hole at 52 for 5.
$52 for 5 after 12.4 overs. That was horrible, horrible. Almost seemed as if no that Katia was shouting to Vumilia was spelled YES for Margaret. That's why she kept running, only to find Katia Uwamahoro as a statue at the end. Where the skipper walks into the middle. Not the situation she would have wanted to walk out in. 66 balls in hand, 66 half side left to the bank.
Wetoto coming in with the moments. Oh, what? That is so close. That close. But Wetoto is the catalyst to change here. With the bat, she gave them a bit of a boost, gave a team a bit of a boost in those middle overs. With the ball, she's also dominating the middle overs, forcing runouts, good dot balls, creating pressure. Just a really good play around cricketer is Sarah Wetoto.
That's off the mark. Sarah Vera, or has she? That's a one-handed pick-up and throw in a single motion, and she's got a direct hit. Oh wow! What a fielding effort that was. That is wicket number 7 down, or in fact 6 down. Beg your pardon. And Rwanda have nowhere to go.
It is so disappointing. Sarah Uera getting herself run out. Just very, very disappointing. I don't know where this Rwandan team goes from here. It's just so disappointing. I think they're also disappointed themselves. But Kenya, all 3 facets of the game, they have dominated.
"52 for 6 in 12.5 overs. The batters are walking out fast, are walking in. Alice Ikuzwe. End of the over, 52 for 6 after 13. "52 for 6 after 13. Sarah Vera was the batter out last over, the second last ball. Katia Uamaharo is still there, and joining her is Alice Ikuzwe as this Wachira continues. Rwanda needs someone to support Katia in the middle.
Yes, they do. She's played some good shots, but she's losing partners on the other end.
Another dot.
Pressure being created with those dot balls.
You can see how desperately Katia Uamaharo wants to get back on strike. She's from the non-strikers and telling the batters how to play. All that she's getting in response, now that is a quick single. Finally, she's back on strike. Remember, she hit 2 boundaries of Esther Wachira in the last over. You can understand that desperation.
Yes, and the desperation is understandable because she's been sitting on the other end watching dot balls and wickets fall all over the place, and she needs to take a hold of this innings and say, if we're going to lose this one, it must be. If we're going to win this one, it's going to be on my. It's going to be on my bat.
I think if Rwanda sit down to dissect this match, especially their batting, the one thing that should be and will be in the top of their list is the lack of strike rotation. So many dot balls played along, especially by Mukaro Rangwa. Even the others haven't kept the scoreboard ticking continuously, and that has left them with a mountain to climb. As that You can see that couple taken there nicely, but it's not enough.
It isn't enough, but at least they're trying to put pressure on the field. You can only play with what's given to you. I just wish they could try look for more boundaries and not forget about preserving their wickets, but try and see if you can put pressure back onto Kenya some way, because the game's still not too far gone. Even though you are 6 down, just a couple of boundaries opens up a little. There'll be a few loose deliveries, and you can find yourself with 100, with 90, with 10 balls remaining, and could possibly change the game. Oh, okay.
What will change is, of course, because there's another one that's gone down. And I think it's Alice Ikuzwe this time, as Rwanda lose their seventh for 50.
Katya Uamahoro's stand ends now. She just misjudged the flight. Ooh, look at that loop over the eye line. That's what they tell you as an off spinner. Over the eye line, get the ball over your eye line. And it beat Uamahoro for flight and straight down the middle stump. Really good bowling. Good from Esther Wachira there. 56 for 7.
Sifa Ingabire walks into the middle, opened the batting the last two games. Now down at number 9. 14 overs gone. It's 56 for 7. Rwanda. "56 for 7 after 14. Sifa Ingabire and Kuswe in the middle. Sara Wetoto continues. Hits it nicely down the ground. It's been an anticlimax, isn't it? Rwanda, they should have done better. They could have done better. They changed their batting order today. Brought up Henriette Ishim at number 3. She began well with a boundary, but the problem's been that the batter who looked good has been getting out pretty quickly, as we saw in the last over of through Katya Uamahoro's dismissal for 14. Only 3/4 hits so far.
Good fielding. Good fielding from Kenya. Still keeping up that high intensity, high quality cricket, even when it looks like they already are through.
Hit aerially. You know, we know that Kenya are in the driver's seat of the 117. Rwanda require another 59. Are there areas you think for Kenya to work on as well? Or has it been a perfect match for them? The 9 for 7, Sara Wetoto fielding it off her own bowling. That's in the air and straight to covers. As simple as it can get. Sara Wetoto gets her first wicket in the game. Would have made in the previous one, and now she gets rid of Sifa Ingabire as Rwanda lose their 8th wicket with the score on 60. The tossed up ball outside off. Ingabire trying to take the aerial route. Does not manage to clear that cover field. I'm afraid the end is nigh. 60 for 8 after 14.5. Talking about this being an almost perfect game for Kenya. As the Josian Nirakunduneza walks in, it's the end of the 15th over. Rwanda 60 for 8. 60 for 8 after 15 overs. Esther Wachira continues. Would you call this a perfect match for Kenya? Because we see they've batted well, they're bowling well, but is this the perfect game, or do you see they have areas to work on as well?
The areas they need to fix are from a batting perspective. Finishing towards the end of an innings, as we see a beautiful ball outside the off stump. But outside of that, everything else has been perfect. From a bowling and a fielding effort, they have been they've been perfect.
I think spin is their weapon of mass destruction, because that's what they've been using. Sara Vitetu, Esther Wachira, Queen Torable, Melvin Idambo. 5 bowlers used, but 4 of them are spinners. Only Lavenda Idambo is the seamer, 2 overs 14. She's gone for. Spin is Kenya's WMD. That is a chase for Veronica Obuya. Let's talk about the format. It's 5 teams. It was a round robin format plus 2 semi-finals to make, and the winners of the semi-finalists, of course, make the final. As another attempted heave goes in vain. But are you in favor of these semi-finals where the teams could have one bad day and they get knocked out? We'll come back to that discussion. 16 overs gone, 64 for 8. Four for 8 after 16. I was talking about the format. We are, of course, in the second semi-final. Are you in favor of having semi-finals, or the alternative could be that
Look, I think
the winner of the first?
And as we speak, as a run out, run out at the striker's end, and the umpire obliges with the finger. It's just going from bad to worse for Rwanda. Don't know where to turn. They don't know where to turn.
Trying a quick single, and Sara Viteto gets to the ball, lets it out quickly to the wicketkeeper who does the rest. And Alguzwe was not even in the frame, I guess. That is real bad judgment as Rwanda lose their 9th, 64 for 9.
And all of these runouts have come off the bowling of Sarah Wetoto. It's going to be sad that she's not going to have any wickets to her name, but she'll have 3 runouts that she'll have manufactured off her bowling. But getting back to our discussion, I think because there's only 5 teams, I think, yeah, look, a semi-final doesn't hurt. But I think the losers final, I think, might be a little bit too much tomorrow, from a format perspective. But I'm happy because then if all teams are equal and competitive, you could get number 4 beating number 1. And that's what teams need to aim for at the end. And I think that's why they've kept the semifinals.
Third place playoff is actually, I mean, this format perhaps is for the players, the teams to have more games. The third place playoff, where the losers of the semi-final, or as it done,
And
and
there
yes,
it
she
is.
has pull it right to the captain, Kenyan captain Margaret Ngoche, as Rwanda have been dismissed for 65.
Just easy wicket. And finally, Sarah Watoto gets that wicket. This one was a little bit of flight outside the off stump and straight to the fielder, catching mid-wicket. And there it is. They're in the final. Both teams in the final dismissed their opponents in and around the 60s, which sets up an intriguing effort tomorrow between the two best teams in this tournament, being Kenya and Namibia.
Absolutely. It's a very good point you made. 65 for 8 is what Nigeria was kept to this morning, and now 65 all out are Rwanda. So 65 seems to be the losing number, but both the 65 runs team will meet tomorrow for the third place playoff. But it's Kenya who will take on Namibia in that title clash in the Kwibuka T20 Tournament final tomorrow. They can dance their way, really, because it's been such a performance with the bat, 117 for 6. Then with the ball, never let Rwanda score, never let them score boundaries. Remember that it's just the boundaries were died up completely. Only 3-4s hit in this second inning. So that is kudos to Kenya's bowlers. What a performance they've had.
Really true, really proper performance from the bowlers of Kenya. They showed their class over and above what Rwanda's bowlers have. I thought Rwanda bowled quite well today, but Kenya came through and showed that they've got that extra bit of quality, and they've outshone their opponents in pretty much every department. Rwanda did try, but Plan A with the pinch hitting at the top didn't work out. And it left them in all sorts, and they just kept on losing needless wickets. But most importantly, they just weren't rotating the strike and trying to move the scoreboard, even though things weren't going well. And when you're up against it at the top in this format, you need to try and get the scoreboard ticking, because you will get moments when you can put pressure back onto their opponents. Rwanda couldn't do that, and they are in the third and fourth place playoff tomorrow.
A terrific performance from Kenya. There you can see their happy faces dancing their way out because they deserve it. They made the title clash. And let's take a look at that scorecard. And that's a sorry figure for Rwanda. But Sarah Wetoto was introduced late into the attack, but came to party with a 2 for 2.5 overs, 1 maiden, 5 for 2. But once you saw the first innings and Sifa Ingabire as well as Vumilia Margaret bowled the economical spells, you felt that the spinners were in the game. And look at that. Lawenda Idambo is the only seamer to have bowled in the second innings. Melvin Idambo, Queen Torable, Esther Wachira, and Sarah Wetoto, all 4 spinners. And that is the reason behind that Kenya's dance, because those spinners have ensured that Kenya can party, and Rwanda, they will have to have another party some other day. So we are.
Well, they're gonna have a party tomorrow. Rwanda can have a party tomorrow when they come up against Nigeria in that third and fourth place playoff for the bronze medal. But the dance that Kenya is doing is well warranted, because they've put in an A+ effort.
Right, we are heading to the final day of this Kwibuka T20 tournament. The journey started last Sunday with Botswana and Rwanda playing that opening game. The Botswana were bowled out for 29. And here we are with our 2 finalists in Namibia and Kenya. That is tomorrow, the afternoon game. But the morning is the third place payoff between Nigeria and Rwanda, the hosts, have thrown a party, but they are not making it because they'll be competing for the third place. Look at that celebration. Look at that. Those scenes are something that will only get better and bigger if they win the title tomorrow. But for those you have joined us, thank you for joining us. Don't go away. There's the presentations coming up. So do join us tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. local time, as we kick off the final day with the third place playoff between Rwanda and Nigeria. Thanks for joining us yet again. This is S. Sudarshan signing off on behalf of the commentators Mpo Mutluane, Ananya Upendran, as well as Sanjay Manjrekar and Priyanjali Jain. See you tomorrow.
Good advert for the game in Africa. Well played to you, Rwanda. Congratulations to you, Kenya, for winning the game. There was no shame in the way Rwanda lost to Kenya. They threw the kitchen sink at Kenya, but Kenya came out tops because they have the pedigree, the class, and the power. We wish them luck in the final coming up tomorrow. Maybe the trophy will stay in East Africa. For a change, we'll do the vice, all the assistant coaches, all the batting coaches. Batting coach Rwanda, I know Bryson, is it Bryson, the assistant coach? Please step up. Bryson, tell me, how far have Rwanda come from the Rwanda of 2019 to the Rwanda of this year, 2021? What's the difference between the two Rwandan women's teams?
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank Kenya for the win. We are coming from now, so all 100%, the attitude of our girls has changed. They are heading forward.
Thank you. And then we saw that your girls can actually play the game. Where do you think it went wrong for you today in the semi-final?
I think they managed to maintain their wickets. They lost early wickets. They tried to play a lot of things. Then they forgot basics.
Where do you take it forward from here?
I think nothing much, just keeping girls strong and come back hard in all games that we're heading forward.
Good luck to you when you go for the ICC Women's Championship. And we look forward to seeing a better Rwanda. Team Kenya, batting coach, please step up. Well done, coach. From a batting perspective, tell us, how has Kenyan performance been from match day 1 to today?
Thank you very much, Innocent, and thank you to everybody who is here, and thanks to Rwanda Cricket Association for being able to organize this tournament. It has been very good for us, and like my head coach said the other day, it has been quite some time and quite a journey. We haven't been playing cricket for the last 2 years, but now in the last minute we came here, and coming here and playing and betting the way we have betted. As a betting coach, I must say that there is something that I take home to be able to work on with the girls, and I do believe that we're in the right path, you know. So well done to my girls, and not to take anything away from the Rwanda. I think you put in a very good effort, and the sky is the limit, and I can see a lot of great future in Rwanda in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, coach. I'll spare you one question because you spoke very well. There was no doubt about your intentions with the team. To give out the player of match award will be Mr. Wycliffe Aganda, the leader of the Kenyan community in Rwanda. Please step down. Somebody give him a push there. He's already here. Thank you. Three nominees for the Player of Match Award. In number 3 is Vumilia Margaret. 2 runs of 6 balls and 2 for 15 in her 4 overs. That was a very good spell under pressure, keeping the Kenyans a little quiet. In number 2 is someone who led from the front. She's been looking like $1 million in the middle, but not converting. Finally, she got some runs off her bat. Margaret Ngoche Banja, the captain Kenya, with 38 runs from 48 balls. But the woman of the match, or the player of the match, is someone who had a dismissal. She also bowled 3.5 overs. In her 3.5 overs, she went for only 5 runs. She picked up 2 wickets. And those 3.5 overs also, there were 3 run-outs. Cuts off of tight bowling. And she also, with the bat, she scored 20 runs of 15 balls. Sarah Bakita Wetoto. Sarah, please stay back. Sarah, please stay back. Thank you, Mr. Aganda. Yep. You can take your place. You can take your place, yes. Hello, 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 hello. It's on.
Hello.
Sarah, second player of the match award. You've been doing it with the ball and you managed to get some runs on the ball today. How do you feel and what have you managed to do to make sure that you are in the runs as well, not just the wickets?
What kept me going was playing for the team. As you play for the team, definitely you will perform as an individual.
Going forward, tomorrow's final, what should we expect from Kenya and you in particular as a big player for the team?
We are going to have a good game and we're going to give it our all, 100%. The sky is not the limit, the universe is.
Thank you, Sarah. That is it from the presentation. Tomorrow morning, there is a bronze match, third place playoff final, Rwanda versus Nigeria. It should be a cracker. I want to salute the Abakamwe up there. Thank you for coming to support the girls. Yes, we love you. Please do come up tomorrow. It's a weekend. Come up and support them as they play in the place playoff. And good luck to Kenya in the finals when they play Namibia. Innocent is my name.
You. Why are you so bad? You. Why are you so bad? You.